It's that time of year. They're coming in. Had a few warm days. They were outside, and now that it cooled down a little bit, they've come in hunting stuff. We got a couple of drops of honey I put on the counter there just to keep them interested and lured. They come in through this electrical socket and have for years. So once they've got trails marked, those trails are there for a long time. So we're going to go ahead and mix some of this up, and I wanted to be able to talk a little more than I was able to in the short the other day. So this boric acid will kill pretty near any living thing, I believe, if you ingest it. It's completely safe to handle, be around, and you have to, a human has to eat quite a bit of it, you know, to take you out, but it's not something you want in your system. So I've learned over years of making messes and having to clean them up that kind of stuff is really best done right in the sink. Any spills or dribbles get washed down really quickly and easily. But I have never done this with the actual boric acid. I have used boron or borax and done it and had some success. The problems that I had when I would mix it with no recipe, just making it up, was that the sugar would glaze over. The sugar water solution would glaze over, and then it would not be edible. The ants couldn't get to it. So put 8 of these in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teaspoons of sugar in a cup of water. And what I'm hoping is that actually having a recipe and using the right amount will possibly keep it from getting that glaze on it where it doesn't want to work. The ants just couldn't eat through it. It had a sugar glaze. So the other one that I had done on my own already, and then of course is recommended as an option when you look all this up, was to put it in some jelly. Well, the jelly doesn't want to glaze over as much. Another trick that I tried where I wanted the ants to be able to get to it in my greenhouse and not have the bees be able to get into as much of it, I put it in a small piece of plastic tubing, and the ants got in it for a while, but they didn't go on up and eat it all, which I was hoping they would do. So we'll just go ahead and stir this solution for a bit here, try to get it all in the solution. Again, like I said in the short, which I did so that you could find the recipe quick and not have to watch this whole thing to get the recipe. This is a 2% solution, and if they're not wanting it and not coming for it, they may be a little picky. You can cut the boric acid down a little bit, but we're going to do a little test right here by our honey spot and see what they do. So you can pour this out on a little piece of cardboard, a piece of paper to make it easier to clean up, especially if you got lots of people around. We don't have any kids in the house or anything, so I have a tendency to just dribble it right on the counter. So I've got a couple of spots here that I just poured. I could put a little food coloring probably in it too, make it easier to see and tell when they'd eaten it up. So time will tell if they get attracted to it, and they might not go to it until they get done with the honey, because they're pretty happy with that. But once they take this back to the colony, it'll take them out. But again, it'll take your bees out too. So if you're using it around your bees, you get it up in a screen top board or under the hive in a container where they can't get to it, that would be the best. So But you can mix it again into anything sweet. For the sugar ants, if your ants aren't sugar ants, if they're grease ants, you could mix it into peanut butter, probably any other grease form that they would eat, at the same ratio, a cup of what you're putting it in, and around 1 teaspoon of the boric acid. So anyhow, I hope this helps you guys control your ant problem really well, and keeps the cost down. The other thing you really need to do on any time that you mix anything into a container is you need to put a good label on it. So here we got, a clear liquid that you can't tell what it is. So we've got a good label that it's ant poison, what type of poison it is, what the percent is on it. You just need to do that. You can't always remember, and you never know who's going to come upon it. So get a good label on it, and I will share results as we find them. We do actually have one ant that's come up to it and started to eat, so I'm assuming that they will eventually find it and consume it, and we'll see what it does. Thanks for watching, guys.